Good afternoon to all of you, and we are delighted to be joining you live this afternoon, Wednesday, 8th of March 2023, for an exciting session to discuss ways to bridge digital divide for women and girls with disability. My name is Chelagat Korir, and I'll be a host, and I'm happy to be discussing this. And I'm also grateful for Disabilities Trust making it possible and having us to have an input in it. So Maria, kindly lead us. Who is Disability Trust rather?
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria. I'm the project manager at Disability Trust, and I'll explain to everyone a little bit about our work. We are a woman-led organization focused on women and girls with disabilities, sexual and reproductive and economic rights. We work now in Kenya, but we're also starting work in the Gambia and in South Sudan. And by now our work has been focused in 8 counties: Kilifi, Kwale, Mombasa, Kakamega, Uasin Gishu, Kisumu, Nairobi, and Kajiado. But now we're also expanding our work to new counties that are severely affected by the drought. Our work has 3 main programs, which are skills, our e-learning platform, where we build digital skills, but also advocacy skills, sexuality and mentorship skills for young women with disabilities. And also we work with healthcare providers on women with disabilities, sexual and reproductive health and rights. We have our HESAVICA program, which is a USSD system that by now has more than 23,000 registrations. All these people that is registered in our platform is linked to our bulk SMS system and is receiving critical information on sexual and reproductive health and rights, on security situation, when it was COVID, about COVID, among other critical information. Also, all the information that we have on HESAVICA help us to have evidence, to do specific evidence on persons with disability in general, but specifically on women and girls with disabilities. And then our 3rd program is Mama City, which is a toll-free number service handled by women with disabilities and for women with disabilities, mainly through Mama City. We provide referral services on gender-based violence and family planning, but also Mama Cities provide mental health support, community support, and they facilitate community meetings and dignity kits distribution, among other many topics that they do. So as you can see, our 3 main programs are super close to the use of different technologies, like USSD systems or an e-learning platform, or even a toll-free number service that also use technology. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maria. And we are glad that Disability is doing each and everything to be able to impact and be innovative and make other women with disabilities to access internet and access information, and also be able to confidently express themselves and just live a normal life. And we all know that disability fosters rights for women and disability. And this one I would like to ask Jacinta, what are the innovative solutions that disability have been able to implement to bridge the gap? And before that, please kindly introduce yourself. Who is Jacinta?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Jacinta Odima. I work with Disability Trust as Project Officer, Mama City. Thank you so much for that question. I can say that in terms of what Disability Trust has been able to do to in terms of innovative device. One, we come up with a program called Digital Data, which began in 2019. 2019, and we had the first cohort, and then we have, so far so good, we've been able to do 3 cohorts, that 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. This program has been able to empower women and girls with disability. Sorry for that. To be able to do digital marketing, and in this area, most of them have been able to start their own businesses and through online marketing, and we have also some have been able to get employment through the same. So I can say this has really improved the lives of young guys with disability, because it is one of its kind. You have your own time to go through the online course on your own, and also at the end of the day, you learn a lot through it. In that program, we have the internship. We also have mentorship, which is very, very important to us women. And I think most of us can attest, because we've gone through the same, and it has been a very good platform for us.
Thank you, Jacinta. And we move to our second question. And Lubicia, we know that you're visually impaired, and I just want to know, why is it important for you as a woman with disability to access technology?
Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, I'm visually impaired. It is very important for me to access technology because I get knowledge there. I get information that the critical information. Let me say an example. Information for health, which is very critical, and it is very important for me. On health, I get information like for family planning, safe abortion, and yeah, I think it's very important. I also get information on different platforms, and I'm sure it is very important for me because I communicate with different people in different ways. And yeah, it's important for me because it's good for me to communicate with others the way the way other people communicate. So it's very important for me to access technology. Thank you.
Thank you. And before you mute yourself, and I just love the way you are highlighting the importance, especially when it comes to communication, because communication is key to empowerment. And I would like to know, do you experience challenges when you're accessing technology?
Of course, yes. There is challenge. Most of the challenges are on accessing the platform. Although nowadays we are trying, Kenya is really trying, though it's a challenge, it's a little bit challenge because you find when we have mobile phones, let me give an example. We have mobile phones that have talkback, some don't have talkback. So you see in that matter, when I go and buy a phone that has got no talkback, it can't really help me, you see. And when I have that phone that won't help me, actually, I won't access critical information, of which it is a challenge because not everyone will be able to afford the device that has got talkback. So for me, it's a bit challenging. And then when having that mobile phone and it has talkback and you don't know, myself, I don't know how to operate when it has talkback. it's also a challenge, because when giving someone a phone without giving that education, that knowledge of operating it, it will be a bit challenging for that person to access the information. So for me at first, it was a challenge, but I'm trying because I've now known how to use TalkBack. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. I'd really love to ask you more, but time is not like it's not on our side. But it's okay. It's okay, Anne. And disability has been at the forefront of fostering accessibility to internet with women with disability and girls with disability. And what have they done to increase the availability of accessible technology for women and girls with disabilities? Maria?
Thank you,
I was going to ask you to whom you're asking. Okay, for us, and because everything is a learning process, and as I was telling you, internet and digital skills is only one of the new technologies that we work with. For us, the basic thing is always to have women with different disabilities, women with disabilities in their diversity, providing feedback on what it works and what doesn't work. So we are trying also always to improve. We're on the way to improve our programs and to make them more accessible, taking in consideration all this huge diversity. And the only way to do that is having women with disabilities at the core of every step of our programs. I mean, it's designing, it's the testing process, but also it's thinking what do we need and what do we don't need. Then the evaluation, and then, yeah, how to improve every time. And I'm sure Anne can explain much better about it and how she improved a lot the digital skills program with all her feedback. So she can tell you much better than me.
Noted. Anne, please expound on that.
Thank you, Maria. Yeah, it's true. Disability Trust, you're really trying. At first, as I joined as a dada, the platform was a bit challenging for me to access, and my friend, I used my friend to read for me. But after the evaluation and everything that Disability Trust did, I took the course for the second time, and the platform was really accessible, because on the platform there was text to speech output, and it was really helping me, reading for me. When I press on a paragraph, it reads for me. So it was really accessible. The platform was accessible, and I was able to take the course. And yes, I finished. It was really accessible. Thank you.
Thank you, and many thanks to disability making it possible for even women with the vision impairment to access information and just empower their lives and have their livelihood. And disability has been critical in empowering oneself, being independent in whatever capacity that woman is. And I would really want to know how Disability Trust Program has been able to impact either as a Mama Siri or as a healthcare provider or as a digital data. Jacinta, how has this Disability Trust Program impacted you as a Mama Siri?
Thank you so much, Nancy. What I can say, it has really improved, one, the confidence for you to be able to work with the community in different fields. Also, it has really opened a door so that when you are dealing with issues of sexual reproductive health and rights for women and girls with disability and gender-based violence, you cannot be able to assist someone to receive justice unless you work with a service provider It's like a stem. You know, when a branch is growing, it normally has some leaves. So Mama Siri works like that. And what the first thing you get is the confidence for you to be able to handle this case in a good way. And you will need people because you cannot work alone. So I can say why it has opened door in terms of the way you communicate to the community at large, since you have to reach out to them. It also has been able to help us to have that self-awareness and confidence, the way you communicate to the authority. Since you have the authority in mind, we have the police, we have the lawyers that we're working with, we also have the service, the healthcare providers that you're working with, and putting in mind that this one person, this woman with disability, that you have to make sure that this person is able to get justice to the end of the channel. So I can say it has really built our confidence. It has really also built our self-awareness, and also communication has really improved, and even the leadership. Our leadership has also improved, and also how we are supposed to assist women and girls with disability in our communities.
Wow. Confidence is key. Sorry, is there a person talking?
Yeah, I'm ready now. Thank you, Jacinta.
It's okay, Anne. Go on.
This is Anne Gitonga Manas in Dagoretti Sub-County, Nairobi. I took the course for RIH. I think that was not last year, 2021. And it was an eye-opener for me. And I'm able to handle the women with a disability better, and also articulate the issue and sensitize other healthcare workers on the need of looking at the women with disability in a better way. And thank you for the training. It was a very good training, and I wish we can train more healthcare workers on how to handle women with disability, especially on reproductive health. Most of the time, they are looked at the people who don't need the services. So I wish we can train more people and sensitize more people. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. And Lubicia.
Anna?
Yes, please.
Yes, I mean, thank you. So on behalf of Dadas, for me, the course was really impactful because let me speak for several things. On digital marketing, I got a knowledge. So that was the first thing that impacted my life. And also through that, we had a program on mentorship. And for real, mentorship was a good program because it built my confidence. And also I was able to give my story without being afraid and hear stories from other women with disabilities and encouraging them, at least knowing that not only me who is going through challenges, but also there are other women that go through challenges. And yeah, through encouraging each other and through that, I really build my confidence and I healed from a certain thing that was really disturbing me. And through guiding and counseling from Lizzie Kiama and other women with disabilities, of course, yes, I healed from that issue. And also through digital marketing course, I got a job last year and I was able to be independent through, that is economically independent. So myself, I did special needs education as a course at school, but when I took digital marketing course, that is what gave me a job, not special needs education. So you can see it really impacted my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne, and I wish you well as you foster to have more wins in your life and embracing importance of knowing importance of innovation and technology, because it's important as a woman with disability and just bringing change in our society. And Gitonga, you mentioned the importance of technology on SRHR, and I really want to know, and even the public to know, is there a link between SRHR and technology?
May I jump in while Anne is coming?
It's okay.
And also, Nancy, you forgot about Vero. Vero is also here and she was a digital data.
Sorry?
You forgot about Vero. Veronica is here. She was
Yeah.
also digital data.
You mentioned my I'm seeing.
Sorry.
So maybe
Okay.
she can explain about the relationship between technology and why not?
Yes. So thank you, Nancy, and everyone. My name is Veronica. I was a Digital Data 2021, and I'm glad to be here during this podcast. So for me, if I can explain the relationship between technology and SRHR, during my time when I was working as at Disability Trust as an intern, I was majorly in the department or in the project called SRHR. So what I can say is that SRHR needs or problems can be put out there in the social media or in the websites or rather even in the, like Disability Trust has put it, where women with disability can just go there and access these stories, their relationships and how they can help them. For example, the menstrual hygiene stories, the abortion stories, and recently we have the LGBTQ stuff. So if we can have all these stories in the websites and where on the blogs, where these women can really access them, it can really be good. And that is one point of how the SRHR really connects with the technology. I'm so much into digital data, and digital data in disabilities really helped me, because right now I can say I am independently brushing off my graphic designs, which I was graphic design skills, which I was taught by Mr. Clarence back then, and I felt like this is what my passion is. And it is really helping me, because at some point it is helping me pay my small bills of mine, and that is what it has impacted me. There's one request that I made back then when I visited the office. I think it was last month, and I said that most of the digital datas are, yes, they have graduated, and not all of them are able to start up their businesses. What if other organizations or stakeholders come up in partner with disability to take this process further? Yes, we've got the basic skills in digital marketing. How can these organizations like Andela come up with scholarship to further this study, so that we can have girls who really want to invest in this thing, but they don't have the scholarship, the money, or they don't have the knowledge on how to go about it? I would request these organizations to come and help disability, to help these girls who have graduated and they don't know, they really want to further it, or maybe offer them internship jobs or any other thing that can help them further from where they stopped. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Veronica, for a very good presentation about the link between SRHR and technology. And we all know that everybody is just saying about the importance of innovation and technology. And we ask ourselves, do the needs of women and girls with disability or any other person with disability, are they in need, or how do we design the technology for
Nancy,
women? Yes, please.
before that question, I had something to add, which I forgot.
Please do.
Thank you. Again, on digital marketing course, we also had a training on Twitter campaign. So for sure, it was impactful for me because we were trained on how to use Twitter. And yes, I am a cyber activism. Yes, activist.
Activist.
Yes, yes, activist. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you for that
for that
correction.
admission.
Yeah,
And
yeah, thank you.
thank you. I was asking about the inclusive part of the design of technology in regards to women and girls. What can we do as either if at all you're coming up with a technology that you want women and girls to access? How do you do it? Jacinta, over to you.
Thank you so much, Nancy, once again. I think what we should do is more to have more engagement on how we can be able to improve on the technology among women and girls with disability. And also, I think since Disabilities Trust had already started it could be better if we can have more stakeholders to come in so that they can be able to do this, they can be able to engage and be able to improve on the accessibility of these technology that are geared to empowering women and girls with disability. For example, you see like the online course that we already have talk to speech. And also besides that, we can include more, because you might find like engaging even the other disability organization and even the other stakeholders like the government to come up so that they can make it more accessible to to all. And if it could be, we can have it like a curriculum that can be used in schools also, because you see, we are coming up. So like the online course or the platform that disability has can be used as an example that even the schools can be able to use to improve on the technology that they have in their schools and making it inclusive. Because when you start it earlier, it's better, and also it encourages the pupils in those schools to be able to use it. And I think just to make the curriculum accessible to everyone, not only for us women and girls with disability, we can include it even in our colleges and in our universities, so that people can know this is what it is done. Most of us are really improved in them. I can say without besides just being Mama Siri, in terms of communication, we use the phone sometimes. Most of the time we use Zoom, and Zoom is a technology. All these are supposed to intertwine together so that we are able to make sure all of us, women and girls with disability, are able to use this technology. And even if there's is it an equipment or a smartphone that can be made, that it is not a must for you to go to the cyber to be able to use these gadgets. So it can be made in a way that you don't need to be supported to use it. So it is made in a way that you can do it on your own, and this creates independency, and also it creates independencies, and you are able to stand on your own and do what you are supposed to do independently without being assisted. And I know Disabilities Trust have been able to make it work to women and girls with disability in both areas that we've spoken about.
Jacinta, you've mentioned access to gadgets, and it's important to note that gadgets are quite expensive. So what can we do for women and girls with disability for them to be able to access the gadget?
It's a good question. And when it comes to gadget, we should come up with an organization or that can be able to provide the gadgets for women and girls with disability to be able to have accessibility to be able to have the use, to be able to get these gadgets. And I know it's a little bit expensive because just getting one is, yeah. So maybe I think togetherness, we're involving stakeholders in this can be able to work well, because for you to be able to be in a class, you will need it. And there are some who are more interested in this. So if we can have like an umbrella or people coming together, or you find that if Disability Trust is offering the online course, another organization is supporting in terms of the gadgets, so that they can be able to join this class. That one, I know it is a little bit tricky, but when more research, or when we think beyond, we can be able to make sure that women and girls with disability have these gadgets. I can speak on myself because for me to be able to finish, I was a digital dada, and for me to be able to continue that, a gadget was given to me and by Disability Trust, and I'm still using the same gadget to reach out to information and even be able to tackle the issue of GBV in terms of Mama Siri guides, in terms of Mama Siri issues that are involving in the community. So I can say we just need people, other organizations to support in this cause.
Before I let you go, what do you say about mentorship? I know I've been handling, especially in regards to gaining skills and just when women and girls come like access internet, they can be able to see, okay, Jacinta, okay, Maria, I've seen her doing so much work. What do you have to say in regards to mentorship?
Okay, I think mentorship is one of the best things that somebody has ever done to me and even to people. And we can, it builds your confidence, also builds your self-esteem improves, because you are able to share and you are able to look at somebody did this, and if this person is able to do, I'm also able to do that. Allow me to use an example of Lizzie Kelma, because she taught me a lot, and I've learned, I've been mentored by her. And when I started, I didn't have confidence. I can say that. I never used to speak the way I can speak now. And I think we should have more mentors, so that we can be able to look at, because mentors help us to look at if they manage to go through all those challenges that they're going through and they've been able to make it. And also in their lives, they are making it, and they're also trying to make sure even you yourself, you are able to make it. Then it is something that not only as women and girls with disability need to have mentors, everybody needs a mentor in their lives, because these mentors help you to see, when I've fallen, what were the gaps that made them to be where they are. And then even you are able to look at the gaps that you need to fill those gaps, or something that is hindering you not to reach where you are. But your mentor was able to go through all the journey and all the processes to be where they are. It gives you that hope and positive thinking that I can be able to reach where I am because somebody else did it. Knowing you must have somebody who has gone ahead of you, so that you look at the process and the steps that they've been following, because you are always given A and Z, but you are never given from B to Y. So when you find those A, B to Y, it is a journey that you follow, and also there are some challenges that come in here and there that you have to look at. How can I improve on this? What can I do in terms of technology so that I can be able to improve on what I'm doing? And what did my mentor did, so that they are where they are right now. So I think there's a lot to learn, and also we need mentors in our lives so that we can be able to improve in terms of confidence, in terms of communication, in terms of self-awareness, and even our self-esteem improve. And even when you share what your life experience you're going through, it makes the other person to learn a lot from you.
Thank you, Jacinta. As we wind up, I would love to hear from Anne Lubicia and Veronica. Recently, the government have been championing for inclusivity on their website. And I would like to know, have you been able to access the website, and how can they be improved? And what message do you have for tech companies?
Okay, I think I can start. Yeah, I've not been able to access because there's still a challenge. You see, the devices that we have, not all of them are affordable. So for me to access the information, I need to be able to afford the device first, and then I access the information. So my first information to the government is at least to make the devices affordable, so that women and girls with disabilities can be able to access information. And number two, the companies and the NGOs need to at least partner with the government and go to rural areas and ensure that women and girls with disabilities have also been able to access information. Let me give an example. If right now we say we want to educate people in rural, when they don't have internet, they cannot access ICT, because the cybers that we have, most of them, they cannot be accessible. Like for myself, I'm visually impaired. I cannot go to the cyber and operate the computers that are there because they don't have JAWS, they don't have narrator. So it's hard for me to access information when I go to the cyber. I need to depend to other person for me to access the information. And it is very important for me to be independent, because there are other things that are, let me say, secretive, or they're for myself. So it's hard for me to depend for another person to get that information. So it's good if we at least go to mashinani and ensure that women and girls with disabilities have the access of information using technology. And also provision of data bundles, which Disability Trust, that is a thumbs up for you, because you've really tried to provide for women and girls with disabilities so that they can get education on health and also on digital marketing course. Yeah, and that is my information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Veronica. Quickly.
Yeah, thank you, Nancy. I want to add something on what my colleague Anne and Jacinta said on the devices. You see, we will have a few organizations who will be giving out these devices, but not everybody is going to get it. So what I would suggest is that we can have a policy, and this policy can go out globally, or not just nationally, but globally, where the tech companies that are manufacturing these phones, we can have a phone that is specifically for women, for person living with disability. And this phone should be cheaply or affordable, can be affordable to everyone. So if you're a person, let's say you're blind like Anne, and you need a phone that has a talkback, you just go, I need a phone that has a talkback, and it will be so accessible to you. For example, let's say you are a business person and you want to sell on Facebook. Facebook doesn't have the talkback stuff. So that means you will just be there, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, and Facebook will just be meaningless to you. And yet that is a place where you can get most of the customers. So if these software companies too can also include this feature of accessibility in their websites, in their softwares, it can be really, really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. As we come to the end, I would love to have your final addition to our session. Maria, then Anne Dubisia, then Anne Gitonga, then Veronica, and then
No, I just, now that is the International Women's Day, I think it's just super important to remind how, and how all my colleagues have said, how technology can increase women and girls with disability, autonomy, and independence. How technology is super powerful skills to build autonomy and to build empowerment and to have access also to sexual and reproductive health and rights. So yeah, today that is the International Women's Day. I think it's important to keep that in mind and to keep pushing and fighting. Yeah, thank you.
Anne Lubisia, quick, and then Anne Gitonga.
Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, my last word is women, we have rights to access information, critical information, and yeah, we have rights to access critical information, and education is the key. If we can be educated to, apart from being given the devices, and if we can be educated to access the devices also and being inclusive, women will be will be ahead of, will be flexible and very much able to access information. Otherwise, I wish every woman happy Women's Day. Thank you.
Jacinta.
Thank you so much. Innovation, technology is very important in terms of economic empowerment to women and girls with disability. And when we are innovative, economically, we are empowered. That's my take for today. And happy International Women's Day to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Veronica?
Thank you. I only have a message to the young girls that wish to pursue a course in tech. Don't be so much intimidated on your status as a woman with disability. Go for those tech courses and you will be happy and enjoy the fruits of technology. Thank you. And I wish you all happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. It has been such an amazing and exciting session discussing on ways on how to bridge the gap between the gap of digital. And thank you, Maria. Thank you, Anne Gitonga, for your contribution. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, Jacinta. And much thanks to Disability for making it possible. And as we leave, I want to wish all women and girls with disability a happy International Women's Day, and never be limited, and be confident about yourself. Have an amazing International Women's Day. Thank you.